Our top focus on WION right now. An 8-year-old girl studying in class 3rd has died of a suspected cardiac arrest in her school. The girl, identified as Gargi Ranpara, collapsed in Zebra School for Children located in Thaltij area in India's Gujarat state. Police officials have now launched a probe into the matter to find the exact cause and reason behind her death. According to the principal of the school, the child was normal when she came to school. However, she started feeling uneasy on her way to the classroom, after which she fell unconscious.
ऊपर क्लास में जाने से पहले कॉरिडोर में वो धीरे-धीरे चल रही थी.
The girl felt unconscious after she sat on a chair in the lobby while going towards her classroom in the morning. The teachers made her lie down and tried to make her feel comfortable. She was feeling breathless, so they did CPR on her. But seeing her situation, we called 108 and then took her to the hospital immediately.
ब्रीदिंग लेने में प्रॉब्लम हो रही होगी. इमरजेंसी सिचुएशन देखकर हमने
In the CCTV video shared by the school management, Gargi could be seen walking in the lobby and going towards her classroom. But on her way, she sits on a chair in the lobby due to uneasiness. Later, she can be seen sliding from the chair after getting unconscious. The latest incident is the second case this week that children have died due to cardiac arrests. On 6th of January, an 8-year-old schoolgirl collapsed and died due to cardiac arrest in Chamarajanagar, which is located 160 kilometers away from Bengaluru. Last in November, a 14-year-old boy from a village in Aligarh died of heart attack while practicing for a sports competition at his school. Now, all these recent tragic incidents have caused a growing concern about cardiac arrest in young children, especially those under the age of 10. According to experts, while cardiac deaths is rare in children, estimates show that at least 1 to 3 cases per 100,000 children have been reported. Despite thorough evaluations and diagnostic efforts, about half of all cases of sudden cardiac arrest remain unexplained. Notably, these events often occur in children who appeared completely normal beforehand. Hence, it is pertinent to take note of some warning signs like unexplained fatigue, shortness of breath, chest pain, dizziness, rapid heartbeat, and difficulty in keeping up with the peers. And well, to discuss more on this, we're now being joined by Dr. Ashok Seth from New Delhi. He is the chairman of Fortis Escorts Heart Institute and Fortis Healthcare Medical Council. Welcome to WION, Dr. Seth. Now, Dr. Seth, while cardiac death is rare in children, what are some of the reasons or triggers for this spike in cardiac arrest amongst children under the age of 10? Well, there seems to be some technical glitch with the guest here, and we were just talking about the rise in cases of cardiac arrest amongst children. The latest one being in the state of Gujarat, where an 8-year-old girl studying in class 3rd died of a suspected cardiac arrest. Police officials, they have now launched a probe into the matter to find the exact cause and reason behind her death. And well, to talk more on this, we are now being joined by Dr. Ashok Seth from New Delhi. He is the chairman of Fortis Escorts Heart Institute and Fortis Healthcare Medical Council. Welcome to WION, Dr. Seth.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Please go ahead.
Right, Dr. Seth, we were just talking about how that the cardiac death is rare in children, and I want to seek your assessment as to what are some of the reasons or triggers for this spike in cardiac arrest amongst children, especially under the age of 10.
Let me at the outset say that this is obviously a very sad event, and this what we see in children and even in adults, that sudden death is a sad event. But we must differentiate one factor. This is a cardiac arrest and not a heart attack, as some of the reports said. And there's a difference between a heart attack, which means an artery getting blocked, creating a heart attack, while a cardiac arrest is a sudden stoppage of heart for multiple reasons, one of which is a heart attack. Obviously, in the elderly or in middle age, the commonest cause of cardiac arrest would be a heart attack. But in children, it's totally different. In children, these are not heart attacks. This is not blocked arteries. Commonly, these are conditions of congenital abnormalities, which may not have been diagnosed at this time, which could have been earlier on examination picked up on an echo. Some of these children have structural abnormalities. A sudden death running in the family is one of the hints around all this. There's also conditions which make the heart go very fast or very slow, and they run in families. And therefore, again, these are electrical disturbances which are passed down into families. But in this girl, there was also a report that she had recent pneumonia and she had a chest infection and fever, because one of the causes of sudden cardiac arrest, as you know, is viral infection or myocarditis, which is a virus affecting the heart muscle, affecting the conduction system of the heart, causing electrical disturbances, which can lead to cardiac arrest. Similar to what we saw during COVID times. COVID was a virus. We said it affected the heart, it caused arrhythmias, and it caused sudden death. So we have a number of reasons. There could be arteries which are abnormally arising, which suddenly lead to cardiac arrest. So the causes of a cardiac arrest in children is not a heart attack. It's usually these congenital or acquired inflammatory processes and electrical abnormalities which lead to a sudden cardiac arrest, as we saw in this child.
Right, Dr. Seth, you have given us an outline of the factors contributing to this rise in incidence of cardiac arrest, which we're seeing in children who have not even hit their teens. What are some precautions that parents should be taking and the symptoms that parents should know?
So I do believe that every child should have an echocardiogram. An echocardiogram picks up many of the abnormalities which we call of structural or congenital abnormalities, which go unnoticed till they get very symptomatic. So every child should have an echocardiogram. The second issue is that if there's a history of sudden death or a cardiac arrest in the family, which could actually be in the father and the mother, brothers, sisters, there are many disorders which are passed congenitally. Thirdly, a simple EKG would pick up many of these abnormalities. So echo and ECG are two simple tests which pick up most of these abnormalities. Finally, you're right, no symptom should go unnoticed. Palpitations, sweating, dizziness, breathlessness, any form of chest pain should always be investigated by simpler investigations first. And of course, going on to more sophisticated investigations if the simpler investigations showed any abnormality. So many of the congenital heart diseases unfortunately get picked up either with such a catastrophic event or sometimes even much later in life, in adulthood, when they start creating problems of arrhythmias, etc., and then we find that it's too late to intervene in those. So it is important to have simple investigations initially for all children and thereby know that there's no congenital transmission of any of disorders which can cause fatality in early age or even at somewhat later ages. But I must also say that more as we go beyond the age of 20, cardiac arrest, a proportion of them start becoming coronary artery disease, which is what we worry about, blocked arteries. And therefore, as we proceed in ages, that's the major cause of cardiac arrest, sudden cardiac death. Yeah. Certainly beyond the age of 40, cardiac arrest, the major causes are blocked arteries, the heart attack, which in 5% of the patients presents as a cardiac arrest and sudden death. So I think it's important to differentiate this whole spectrum. Also from that spectrum where we've seen visuals of, say, adults suddenly gymming and exercising and collapsing, are very different causes as opposed to the children that we see having cardiac arrest.
Right, Dr. Seth. Thank you so much for joining us on WION and sharing your insights with us.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.